problem of disposal of the toothpick, which is now a product with a frustration. What are we going to do for it? If you had a look at my other matrix, which is product development, you would come up with a new material to make it from, which would make it edible. You've just invented the edible toothpick, sir. Took you 2 seconds. You could patent that tomorrow. Believe me. We only have to track people and watch their predictable frustrations. Do you know when honey was being sold in jars, people tracked the predictable frustration. And what was it? It's messy, correct? So what did they do? What happened to sales of honey, folks? Double. Simply by observing the predictable frustration. Another one of these is called widespreadness. The biggest problem with inventors is they see a problem and they solve it for one person themselves. And I have to say, this blows me away. I saw this advertised the other day in the newspaper. 20 years ago, a fellow invented a paint roller. A little paint roller for putting suntan lotion on your back. I mean, what a ridiculous idea. He had a market for one himself. He didn't have a girlfriend. So I couldn't believe this. This is not a widespread, predictable problem. We don't have a problem putting suntan lotion on our back by and large. It's not a predictable problem. I saw recently the other day a fellow written up in the Sun. He's just come out with another one to do exactly the same thing. We should send him the RSVP address perhaps or something, I don't know. Anyway, that's another way you do it. The third one is repetition. What's repetitious? When something's repetitious, there's 2 ways to take advantage of that as an opportunity. 1, remove the repetition by automation, but 2, take advantage of it. There are many times you cannot remove repetition. For example, in Australia we collect the garbage every week from our house, correct? In Singapore, every day. In Mumbai, every day. We cannot remove that repetition. It's predictable, it's widespread, it's repetitious. So let's turn that knowledge of that activity into an advantage. So what they're doing now in some places is they're actually putting video cameras on the front of these trucks. They capture the streetscape every day. And if there's a car accident and someone says, oh, I couldn't see the stop line and the traffic light, there was trees hanging over it, they can wind the film back and say, no, it wasn't, or yes, it was. That film can be worth $1 million. A garbage truck costs $600,000, the camera's $1,000, the film can be worth $1 million. Take advantage of repetition. And I can give you an example where I've done this in many, many cases, in widespread. I did some work with some banks. Have a think about this. You'll be astonished at how quickly you can do these calculations. How many staples are used in Australia every day? I can tell you now, if I gave you 2 minutes, you'd all come up with an answer roughly the same. There's about 22,000 tonnes. How can we get rid of those staples? Have a look how they're used. Stapling credit cards to invoices in purchases. There's millions of them per annum. How do we get rid of all that? Don't have credit card receipts, don't have invoices, put it all in the cloud, no paper needed, no staples needed, and guess what? When you go to make a warranty claim, the stuff's in the cloud and there's no argument about when you purchased it. There's a whole paradigm of thinking about opportunity, and this all came from understanding and looking at what my dog did.